Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. We're going to talk about what happens when a state fights back against gun control for an area within its own state. But before we jump into that, I want to thank today's sponsor of the news. That's Gun Pro Deals. You can find them very easily online. They are a fantastic source if you're looking for something, a tool or an accessory for things that we like to play with. Then you can check them out. And thank you, Nate and Gun Pro Deals, for sponsoring today's news. Let's jump into South Carolina. Alan Wilson is the Attorney General of South Carolina, and what's come down the pike is, I'll give you the short abridged version. The mayor of Columbia, which is the capital of South Carolina, within the last couple of months, half a year or so, has passed their own gun control laws, ordinances. And which ones, to be specific, one was gun-free zone within 1,000 feet of a public or private school. Number 2 was an outright ban on homemade guns, which they determined to be ghost guns. And number 3 was a red flag. So there's an extreme risk protection order within the city limits of Columbia proper. So that, for those residents, is terrible. But the Attorney General has constantly told the mayor that those ordinances are in direct violation of South Carolina's preemption laws. What that means is local areas cannot pass any law or ordinance that is in direct violation of a state law. And in South Carolina, the state regulates gun control or gun laws. So in September 2019, just a few months ago, that's when the 1,000 feet of a school and red flag were instituted. And in August was when they passed the ghost gun ordinance. And where the Attorney General is getting no nice responses from the mayor, he has filed suit in the state Supreme Court against the mayor and the city of Columbia. Now I'll touch back on preemption again. I'll read you South Carolina's preemption here, and you can make the decision for yourself, especially if you're new to firearms. This is what is happening in a lot of states. So North Carolina's preemption statute states that no governing body of any county, municipality, or other political subdivision in the state may enact or promulgate any regulation or ordinance that regulates or attempts to regulate the transfer, ownership, possession, carrying, or transportation of firearms, ammunition, components of firearms, or any combination of these things. And you see in there it says possession or carrying. So by Columbia passing a law or an ordinance where you cannot carry or possess your firearm within 1,000 feet of the schools, it is a direct violation of the preemption. Where they also tell you that you can't possess or make your own firearm and possess them, that's a direct violation, and violating due process and taking people's firearms, which would take their possession on a whim of somebody for an extreme risk protection order or red flag, that's a direct violation as well. Now the communications director for the South Carolina Attorney General's office, his name is Robert Kittle, he has said this: "As our office is sworn to uphold the constitutions of this state and the United States, we are ready to take legal action if necessary to uphold state and federal laws." Now that is what they said in January. And of course, like I said, the AG has told the mayor, again, the mayor is Steve Benjamin of Columbia, he's told them that you cannot have these laws, they are in direct violation of the state's preemption. Well, the mayor said this in response: "The ordinances are in compliance with state statute. We continue to believe that and will defend that. We believe the Attorney General's interpretation is incorrect." So the anti-gunners, I won't even say liberals anymore because there are some liberal people that I know that have firearms. The anti-gunners, their new point of view, at least in South Carolina, is we believe this, so it doesn't matter what the law states because we believe it. And we've been told for a whole generation or maybe two that our feelings are paramount and what we feel is the most important thing, and nobody can tell us no or that we're wrong. Well, this is what's happening now. So the AG filed a suit in the state Supreme Court, and he said this: "We have consistently advised for almost 3 decades, since 1991, that state law preempts local regulation of firearms. These ordinances clearly violate the state law that prohibits local governments from passing any gun laws or ordinances that regulate the transfer, ownership, or possession of firearms. In this case, the Second Amendment is paramount and cannot be undercut." So this is a very rare instance where the chief law enforcement official of the state, this case South Carolina, is going to war with one of the chief officials for a municipality, the mayor of the capital city of Columbia. This is, this warms the cockles of my heart. If you guys live in South Carolina or know somebody in South Carolina, give this a like and forward this to your friends. But more important, let the Attorney General's office know that you support this. And even though you're paying your taxes for the plaintiffs and the defendant side, this needs to be done, because if this case is dismissed, which means that, too bad, so sad, the state law is no longer valid in the eyes of the state Supreme Court. Or if they get enough support on the bad guys' side, the anti-gunners, the judges will probably take that into consideration as well, even though they shouldn't. But let your Attorney General know that they're doing, well, he's doing a fantastic thing in drawing the line in the sand and going after what's probably the most powerful mayor in the state of South Carolina. This is the capital city. So that is a good thing. And it'll help you. I will put a contact number for the South Carolina Attorney General's office in the description below. So if you have found this video to be interesting and you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. This is where you're going to get all the Second Amendment news, no matter where it happens in the country, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, right here on Guns and Gadgets. If you could, please also like the video and share it with your friends. And if you're subscribing for the first time, please hit that bell icon and toggle the notification to all notifications. That way you'll be notified of when I put out new stuff here. So again, thank you for your time. Your viewership, your friendship here means so much to me. It is beyond words that I can put into it. So thank you so much. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and good luck, South Carolina. That's awesome. Take care, everybody.